Now Adnan makes a cut, gets looked off, gets looked off, gets looked off, looked off.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Lookoff, where rules are arbitrary and can be changed anytime, and will be changed anytime. Just anytime there's a clock situation, we're going to change the rules. I'm here with JoeMama.
How's it going?
And special guest, Lucia Wei.
Hello.
5 weeks now into Winter League.
Yeah, done with week 5.
One whole hand of fingers.
2 weeks left. 2 teams secured in the playoffs, and 6 teams still in the run.
Still fighting. Let's go.
Exciting week last week. I think I didn't watch a whole lot of the games. Yeah, I'm ready to get into it. Are you?
Yeah, let's do it.
Game 1 was Tina versus Andrew. Tina ended up winning 14-9. Andrew made some bold decisions, letting Bob run pickups and then not picking up anyone for 3 of their top 5 draft picks, I think. But don't quote me on that. But it was something egregious. I know Jordan played 1 point. Q played 1 point or 2 points maybe, and then they told him they didn't need him, and then they lost by 5. So maybe they did. Joe, what were your takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, we knew ahead of time that this was going to be a rough game just because both teams have like 3 or 4 case men that were gone for the weekend. So both teams, plus Timmy's still, I assume, just out for the year. I don't know if that's confirmed, but
I think Young G is Timmy now.
Is a fit.
But
Young G is Timmy.
I can't.
Okay.
That's never really been confirmed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we knew it was kind of circled on the calendar as this game could be interesting. But really, Orange just struggled with like everything all game. They had tons of drops, tons of like throws to open people that were just like too far. They had a few times where I don't know if they were like trying to poach or just kind of like stop playing defense in certain situations, like giving up free up lines or.
They probably got nervous because Tarek was watching.
Ooh, that is a good point.
Tarek was in town.
Whether or not he was watching, though, that's up for debate. But yeah, it was a tough game for them. But it was another battle of teams missing a lot of people. So
I'm sure Tarek had a good time though.
These last few weeks, and we'll probably talk about it later, but these last few weeks have confused me because I don't know if the takeaway is we were wrong about the teams that were bad or that we thought were bad and it actually are okay or good, or if everyone's just about as bad as everyone else. So there's just no telling. But also the pickups, I just don't know if the takeaway from this game is Tina's team is actually better than we thought they were. Now that they have Young G, maybe they figured it out. They do have some players that have been playing really well. And maybe it is that they've just figured out how to play together. Maybe it is Andrew's really bad, or maybe it was just the pickups made everything confusing and nobody knows.
Well, Tina's on year 2 now of starting off looking absolutely terrible. And then maybe this is a run back to the finals again. Sparky was not looking great earlier in the season. We talked about he needs more people who can throw it deep to him, and he's looked very good the last few games, whether he's going deep or cutting under. Tina has stopped throwing 9 turnovers a game. That helps. That helps a lot. So, they are looking better, and, Young G being able to play with them more regularly and maybe developing a little chemistry helps as well. So, they're I don't remember where we had them ranked preseason, but it was near the top, I think.
I think it was pretty close to the top, just on the merits of basically Tina and Timmy.
Yeah.
Tina, last year, whatever. I don't know what else to say from this game. This week will be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know that either of those teams can technically be eliminated this week, which sounds insane, I know. But, okay, I think if Andrew loses this week, he's out. But if Tina loses, she can still make the playoffs.
Crazy.
Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the case. Anything else from this game?
No, let's move on.
Yeah, it was a boring one.
Yikes.
More exciting game for game 2. Gurgit versus Felipe. Nail biter near the end. Final score was 11-10. Black won. Lucia, what were your thoughts on this game?
Oh, baby. Okay. Well, okay. So during the time that I watched, it was like, okay, I think I was there for like 2 seconds. And I think it was, okay, no, at the beginning I was there for like 2 seconds. And I think, I could be wrong. I think this is where they were up by like four points or something. I left and then I came back and it was like tied and it was really, really intense. And I was like, wow, I shouldn't have left. It was a big mistake. Yeah, it's really a lot of things happening.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of in the same boat. I was like filming, I think, for the first half, and I kind of like walked away for a little bit, and I missed the end. I think I missed like the last few points, and I just assumed that Gurgit's team was going to kind of, get 1 or 2 more holds, and that would be the game. And then I, watching the film and hearing about it, that like they very nearly, ended up in a tie universe point situation is crazy.
What were they doing that was letting Felipe get back in the game? I haven't watched this one yet, and I've heard that the film is nearly unwatchable. So,
yeah, shout out to Bees.
Yes.
I mean, I don't remember exactly, I guess, but they had a lot of just like throwaways again to just like wide open people where like on the last point. They send her to hooks and he tries to throw like a low inside break that just like goes into the turf. They had a couple more earlier points of just like someone's cutting up it on the fore side. The throw has the wrong edge and it tails into the wall. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they've looked at their best. They have looked very good. But they have also had a few of these kind of like against our team in our game. They almost had a similar kind of end of game.
Oh, baby Joe.
Snafu. Yeah. Where we scored like, 3 out of 4 points or something and then kind of just ran out of time for the comeback. But
always out of time for comeback.
I think this was the 3rd straight week where Felipe's team ended up being within 1 or 2 points with a minute left or less on the clock. And somehow somebody stopped the clock and somebody said, no, you weren't supposed to. I just want to go on record as saying I've talked to Lynch about this a lot, and I'm still confused as to what the rules are, so I don't want to say anything concrete.
It was done correctly this week.
Okay.
Yay!
So that's what I thought was the score was within 1, and they were waiting to pool. Like, they weren't waiting until the 1 minute, but everyone was getting ready to pool. Or the team that was pulling was getting ready to pool. And the clock hit 1 minute, and they stopped it at 1 minute. And to me, that makes sense.
Right. But I guess maybe that's not technically how the rule is worded.
But apparently the rule is technically worded if a score happens in under a minute. I don't know if that's actually the case. Again, I don't want to be blamed for this because it's a fucking mess.
This seems like this is like the spirit of the rule. Like this is how it's meant to be. Yeah. Like if you score with 1 minute and 2 seconds and then you just wait to pull
exactly
2 seconds.
Because you could wait. So to me, it makes perfect sense that it stops at 1 minute. Apparently, that's not how the rule is written. Again, I just want to go on record as saying us reducing what Lynch can say in public to power 10 did everyone a favor.
Yeah, it was a pretty exciting game though overall.
The end was so exciting, I forgot it. So it's pretty exciting.
We were getting ready for our game.
That could be why I forgot it.
Yeah, so I was moving in that direction too.
I just remember being really sad and be like, oh man, now I have to go run around.
So sad.
Yeah.
I hate running.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Frisbee either.
Yeah.
Anything else on Felipe?
Nope.
I just realized, do we even acknowledge the fact that Libby's not here today? Or are we just people are just gonna assume Libby's in here but completely silent.
Libby is here.
She slipped
Libby,
away.
you have anything to add? All right, I guess not.
yeah.
It's too slippery, you know? It's just...
LeBron James is actually sitting next to Brad as well, but he's kind of
Also-
working on his own thing. Yeah.
Also quiet.
He's shy.
So Felipe can also lose this week. And
But no one else can.
potentially be fine, I think. Well,
It depends on other games.
This is a lot of potentials.
we'll get into this later. I guess the only thing I really wrote down is, and it's too exciting not to have written down, there's one way that we can end up with a 5-way tie for 5 teams having 2 wins and 5 losses, and one of them will make the playoffs.
Amazing.
Now, who I have written down, actually, I think Felipe might need to win. It's
too late.
Yeah,
It's
there are way too many possibilities at this point. But if Felipe, let's just go through this right now. If Lynch wins and Iris loses, Andrew wins and Libby loses, Jackie wins and Felipe loses, Gergit wins and Tina loses, then the next week Jackie wins, beats Libby, Iris beats Tina, and Felipe beats Andrew. 5-way tie with 2 wins. So if you're listening, make that happen. I think the craziest thing about that, though, is that Iris would make the playoffs from that 5-way tie.
Let's go.
The point
There's time for a comeback.
the point differential would end up being in her favor unless Felipe blew out whoever it is he still needs to beat by like 6 points. Because Iris has lost a lot of games, but has lost them by
Close
very few
margins.
points.
In heartbreaking fashion, you might say.
Well, actually, I could be wrong because word on the street is our score on that game was incorrect.
Oh, baby.
I mean, yes, but we still, I think, have a pretty good point diff compared to other teams that are in that situation. We haven't been blown out, whereas I feel like
Everyone
other
else does.
teams have.
All right, game. We'll get back to Iris. Game 3 was Lynch versus Jackie. Lynch ended up winning.
Power team.
Oh my god.
Power team. Lynch ended up winning 19-13
Power team.
in a game that was, I don't know, advertised as the Booze Bowl by Pinecone for an entire week.
Oh, no.
Jackie and Cole hit the over on the number of beers they needed to drink, and then some.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Lynch originally set the line at over 11.5 for each person. I don't know if they beat that one.
They might have had more than 23 beers between
Oh
them.
my goodness.
I don't think I've drank that many beers in my life.
That is as much beer and weight as Lucia.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Cole took that challenge to heart. But takeaways from this game, it's hard for me to say that. Well, Jackie's now lost 2 straight.
Yeah, 2 straight.
2 straight to Gergit and Lynch. So what does that mean? Are they not quite as good as Gergit and Lynch? Will their team look different when they're not drunk?
Are they better at
Yes.
drinking than us?
They're definitely better at drinking than
Hands down.
every other team in the league. I think.
Orange could give them a run for their money with Sharon, Evan, and Bob.
You know, the young bloods.
Yeah.
And all the college kids. Yeah.
Yeah, and Sparky might single-handedly for their money.
God.
Yeah. I mean, this game also was pretty close until
It wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was like within 1 or 2 points, maybe 5-10 minutes after half, and then Power Team just went on a run.
Power Team.
Power run.
God
Power
damn
through.
it. Yeah, but Lynch's team just went on a little bit of a run and then took control.
Which team?
Power team?
Power Team.
Power team. Power team.
This is all going to be edited out for sure.
Power team? Power
Okay.
edits?
All right, okay. That's enough. And so actually, we'll take a break real quick because my mom just walked in
Joseph
to
Mother's
so we can step away for a sec here. And we're back.
Joe's mom just stopped by. She said hello. She's actually sitting here for the remainder of the podcast with Libby and LeBron, but they started playing a game of dominoes, so we'll see how that goes.
All right, so I was in the middle of saying something about Jackie and Lynch. Yeah, so I mean, the game was pretty close, I think. And honestly, I think that Jackie and Cole and Pinecone are kind of giving themselves a lot of negative hype. Like, they have played pretty well, and they've only lost to the two teams that I think have been pretty clearly the two best teams overall. And I mean, it sucks to lose 2 games in a row, I know, but I still think that they're a good team, especially if they can, play just a little bit more consistently throughout the game.
Drink more.
Yeah, maybe that's the key.
I think the key for playing them, whoever has the seed, if they make the playoffs, when they make the playoffs, probably, because I think they only need one more win to clinch it.
Right.
And if you're the team playing them and you have the decision of what time slot you want to play them in, don't play them in the first time slot. Play them in the second. Give them time to get buckets of beer.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Pro strats being given away for free on the podcast.
Take that to the bank. Anything else here? Lucia, it's your first year playing Cleveland Winter League, right?
No. Yes, I've been playing for exactly 1 year.
You played last year.
No, I've been playing for exactly 2 whole days. No, this is my 3rd year playing.
This is your 3rd year?
Yeah. First year I played with Mir, and then I don't know. Oh, I played.
Wait, was that a Mir Dutch? Purple?
I don't think Dutch was on that team. All I remember is Amir and Thompson. And also, turns out I forgot about Thompson.
Were you on my team last year?
Oh, were I? Was I? I don't know. I don't know.
No, you weren't.
Okay, cool. Glad someone knows. Really tangential story. You can cut it out if you want. But, so, freshman year before I came to Case, some guy messages me. He's like, oh, wow, you play Ultimate? Me too. I was like, oh, wow, cool, okay. And then I never see this kid at school, and I'm like, wow, where'd that kid go? And then I talked to this kid at Winter League, and he's like, oh, I remember you. And I was like, oh, I have no idea who this kid is. It turns out it was Thompson, and I just didn't know it was him for forever.
He slipped into those DMs.
That is great. Was he a freshman your freshman year as well?
Yeah.
Wait, he was a freshman?
He
was his first year at Case.
He was at CSU, I think, or something.
Okay, yeah, because I know he did a year at CSU. Before transferring to Case.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a great talk on. Lucia, do you have anything else on Power Team? How do you feel about Power Team? Fun, powerful.
It's really, really, really powerful. I wish someone better had filmed that first episode. So.
Yeah, for all the listeners of the podcast, we need people to film. I'm not going to be here this week, so I can't film 2 of the games. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Was Dutch not there this week?
No, he was not.
Has he filmed it all this year?
He has a little bit, but he has been. Yeah, he's been playing a decent amount, picking up, and
in years past, I know he has. Bones moved away. He was pretty consistent.
Oh.
Really, the only thing we miss about him. All right, game 4, Libby.
The game of the week. We can just go ahead and say it. The best game of the week. The most exciting. The happiest.
The happiest I've been all year. Instagram caption.
Libby versus Iris. Iris won by a score of 19-13 or 14 or something like that.
I think it was 14. You gotta check the video. I forget.
The clock showed, or the scoreboard showed 20-13 when we got there. But
I think that was
we're being told that's wrong. So Joe, what happened? I didn't watch it.
We played well. Well, I guess first of all, we were missing a lot of guys.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, both expected and unexpected. I think we had one guy that emailed Iris like maybe the day of, and then another guy who, as far as I know, didn't say anything to Iris, but wasn't there.
So a standard week for Iris.
Yeah, a standard week for Iris, and then. Daniel, Dima, and Swanee, who's still hurt, were all not there. So we ended up. So we picked up Jiff for Swanee, He had a great game for us, and we ended up having to pick up Riley, who had just finished playing 2 back-to-back rec league games.
Had to?
Sounds
like got to.
We had 4 men at 2 minutes prior to game time, and Riley was in the middle of playing a universe point in his second back-to-back game.
Is that pre or post engagement?
That was post engagement, or the engagement happened during the game. But
congratulations, Riley.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
All right,
let's be clear.
Yeah.
Lucia's freaking out. Riley is not engaged, as far as I know.
I couldn't tell you.
The answer is I don't know.
But in that rec league game that he was playing in, there was an engagement. Very exciting. Justin Zrenner proposed to his his girlfriend, who is Hannah Beckett. Yeah.
I was gonna say Hannah Hankin. I was like, whoa.
No. Yeah. So it was, I was still warming up, and so I didn't see exactly how it happened, but we just looked over, and everyone was clapping, and they were hugging, and
I missed out on this. I'm so sad.
I was told that we probably should have considered having them on. I was told it happened right before Universe Point or near the end of the game.
It was close to the end, but it wasn't quite Universe. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Zrenner and Hannah played Notorious a few years ago.
Wowie zowie.
And Zrenner coaches the
North Olmsted. Is that right?
Or Olmsted Falls.
Olmsted Falls, yeah.
High school team. He works there, and he's been their coach for several years.
A while, yeah.
So actually, Charlie, who's on Jackie's team, is one of his students /
nice.
Oh,
Frisbee kids. Yeah.
wild.
But congratulations to Hannah.
Oh my God.
Ray. Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
I hope somebody got that on video.
I don't think so.
You don't think it was on film? Do you think Bees was filming it?
I don't think so. I mean, nobody even filmed the first 2 points of our game. So my hopes are not high. Well, actually, let me say this. It's definitely not on any of my cameras, because I looked at all that footage. So, yeah, unfortunate that it's not on film, but fun moment. See, like I said, that field had it happening all night.
Yeah, it was the magic field.
It was the magic field.
But Iris broke her losing streak.
Was that on the magic field?
Yes.
Yeah.
Iris broke the losing streak. Beat Libby. Pickups were big.
Yeah, I mean, Jiff played. Yeah, Jiff had a huge game for us.
Is huge. Still
and
is
yeah,
huge.
he is huge. I mean, it's definitely, it is certainly can be beneficial to have fewer players depending on the circumstances, right? Because
Joe wants to play every point.
You can have a tighter rotation, but I mean, I think we did a much better job of not turning the disc over. We took a lot of swings, a lot of resets, and even though our cutting wasn't always pretty, we were able to sort of find openings by staying patient. So that helped a lot. And, I think that Red just had a few, like I talked about with some of the other teams, they just had some turnovers that were just people are open and they just throw a turnover or a huck that's way too low. And
more air.
yeah, so it's hard to, I know how it feels to be on the other side of that. It was just playing a really frustrating game.
With no time to make a comeback.
With no time to make a comeback, yeah. But it feels good. Feels good to get that first win. Keep our playoff hopes alive.
5 weeks in, you got your first win.
Best feeling of the year.
Are still alive.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, Joe.
Thank you.
Because let's talk about games coming up this week. First game, we have Iris versus Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iris is going to win.
This week, I think the Case women
and Zoe.
Oberlin women are gone.
So it's not just Zoe. It makes sense.
It is Zoe and Libby and Abby and Linnea.
Yeah.
And Lucia. Other Lucia. Both Lucias.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I think that's all the Oberlin women.
Will you and Sharon be gone?
Yes. Sharon and I will be gone.
Libby be gone?
Yes. Libby will be gone.
But will Luby be there?
Libby, are you going to be there?
Oh, all right.
That sounds like an L. Resounding no. So, Lynch's team will be light on women. Iris's team will not have Joe.
I mean, also be missing Kathy, Linnea, and Wan Young. So
Wow.
Yeah, they are.
Damn. Okay.
Okay.
yeah, so both teams are missing 3 women. I don't know exactly what the pickup situation is, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I mean, in general, I'm anticipating that there's going to be a lot of 4-2 played this week,
Yeah.
as most teams will be down to 3-ish women.
Ish.
Ish.
I mean, different teams obviously have different numbers, but
Jackie drafting 0 college kids.
nope, she has Andrea, so she will be missing one.
She'll be missing someone.
Yeah. Well, but obviously got to go with Iris on this one. They're going to pick up. We got all the momentum now. We got a big win over Libby. We're gonna somebody's got to shut Power Team up already. It's going to be Iris.
Power team.
Lucia, who do you think is going to win this game?
Power team.
Power team?
Power team. Power team.
Yeah. I'm going with Power Team.
Power team.
Power Team?
Power team.
This was a mistake.
Power team.
It was a very powerful move. One befitting a power team.
It's okay, Joe. You can power through it.
Team.
Team.
Game 2, Libby versus Andrew. Serious playoff implications, probably. Libby will be missing Libby and Nicole.
Yes.
Ooh,
Libby
spicy.
and Nickel.
And anyone else?
I don't know any other case women on that team.
I don't think so. Oh, Lucia, her
Oh my gosh.
Oberlin rookie.
Yeah,
Flip a
really.
coin. And Davenport may or may not be gone. To say.
Yeah, Orange is going to be missing Sharon and Swag, and
Michelle.
Michelle. That's right. So one woman versus 2. Is that right? Or
No,
two for each team.
2v2.
So I don't know. I'm also anticipating there's going to be a lot of women that are going to be playing 2 games, or more this week.
Ooh, spicy.
So, I think that's going to be a big factor, and I think I'm going to give the slight edge to Orange here, just because they have that their sort of core of men back this week, and so I think that will obviously help them out a lot. And the fact that both teams are missing some of their top women is I kind of consider a wash. So
I think Libby missing Libby and Nickel
that's
pretty
huge.
bad for their team. That's going to be tough for their team identity, and making up the production of those 2 will be, well, we'll see though.
Maybe
You never know with Andrew. You never know with his team what they'll do. What kind of strat they'll run.
young people.
Lucia, who do you got in this game?
Ooh. I share the same sentiments. I was paying attention. I just don't have that much more to add.
So we're all taking Andrew.
I think so.
Sorry, Libby. You're not here to defend yourself.
But LeBron is here, so,
Yeah, but he doesn't really know Libby well enough to speak on her behalf, I don't think.
What about JoeMama's mama?
Game 3 is Jackie versus Felipe. Felipe will be missing
1 point.
Abby and Aaron.
Oh.
and Linnea.
No, Linnea's on
no.
our team.
Oh,
I think that's it.
okay. How am I getting those colors confused?
They're both green.
Yeah, all right.
Is
It's
it
that
green?
point in the league.
It's yellow.
Apathy is starting to set in.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's dark green.
Lucia, not everyone has an artist's eye.
Oh my lord.
I can't tell the difference between different shades of green.
Is it time for me to tell the story of how North Coast ended up with purple jerseys for 3 years?
Oh baby.
Those were supposed to be royal blue and navy blue. And when I
Wow.
looked at them on my computer, I'm like, all right, that's blue. That's the blue I want.
Oh
But
man.
they are very much purple.
Wow. Now I know.
But anyway, Felipe's playing Jackie. I don't know if Jackie's missing anyone other than
Jackie's
Andrea. I think just Andrea. I mean, outside of like potential random people missing, that just happens. But
And word on the street is Felipe is picking up Iris,
What?
which is
I don't think that's actually happening.
Oh.
But it was talked about.
I would say that would be extreme, but also I would love it. It would be in Iris's best interest for Felipe's team to lose against the team that has her boyfriend on it. And yet they would pick up Iris. And like,
so she could change the odds.
Yeah, she could throw that game.
Literally
Throw that game away. And it would be better for her.
Yeah.
But then again, knowing Iris's track record, she'd fall ass backwards into a win and knock herself out of the house.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, well.
I think I'm going to take Jackie in this one.
Yeah, I got Jackie. I think they come back.
Yeah, like I said, I think we, people sort of have been lower on them recently just because they've had 2 losses to 2 very good teams. But, I think they're a good team. I think they'll come out with a win.
Agree.
All right, so we're all going with Jackie?
Drink more.
Oh, this last game, Tina versus Gurgat.
Oh.
Lucia, who do you got?
Ooh.
Gurgat will be missing
all of them.
all of their women except Babs.
Like the president of Case Western Reserve University,
yes.
Or the hedgehog.
She'll be picking up for Maddie.
Perfect. She's just as tall in those high heels. What can I say? Oh man, they're missing Maddie. Ooh.
Maddie, Annika.
Maddie, Kathy, Vanessa, right?
Yeah, Vanessa and Kathy.
That is all of them, I believe. Who's Tina missing?
Does Tina have any?
I don't think so because it's
her, Haley, Abby are all probably going to be there.
Yeah. I don't remember.
So, which does Tina need to win or need to lose for Iris to have Iris to have a better chance at the playoffs? Because whatever the answer to that question is going to color my pick.
I think you want Tina to lose because a Gurgat win doesn't impact you at all. So you probably want Tina to lose.
You want Tina to lose.
I'm not saying I want Tina to lose. I'm saying I think they're going to lose.
Yeah,
but I don't necessarily want it.
I mean, this one's a toss-up, I think, because Purple has been playing very well, and Black missing 4 of their women.
Yeah,
obviously,
that's a big
whoever
loss.
they're able to pick up is going to be
on their 3rd game of the night.
Yeah, on their 3rd game in a row.
And drunk, maybe.
Yeah,
we can only hope.
But I think I still got to give the edge to Gurgat, especially in a week where probably going to be playing more 4-2 and they have a very strong sort of core group of men throwing wise and athleticism wise. So I think got to give the edge to Gurgat, and they're gonna help my team out.
Lucia.
Oof. Yeah, I like. Oh man, like one. Oh man. Oh. Like I'm gonna say Go-Gurt Man, I think, because they have like all those little tiny compact men that run around really fast and are kind of spooky. I know the tall bean lady isn't there, or the other tall string bean lady, or the other like small babies. Like, I like one Tina. I like feel bad. Because we were like, Tina's like, she was like, and now she's bad. So, but yeah. It be like that sometimes,
It do be like that sometimes.
LeBron, you want to translate that one for us? For those keeping track at home, I'm pretty sure that was a vote for Gurgat.
I heard it loud and clear. Well, after this week, we will almost definitely see some teams eliminated. Maybe not technically, but...
Who's your money on eliminating, person, disappearing, leaving?
I don't know, because I haven't looked at enough to know all the scenarios. Like, I'm looking at this and seeing that Iris can lose and then still make the playoffs.
But don't quote me on that.
My mind makes no sense. Like, that can't be true. And yet, here it is.
And yet, ball don't lie, Brad.
And yet, I wrote it in pen, so... Maybe it's real. The dream lives on.
It
The dream of the playoffs lives
It
on
does live on.
in our hearts and minds. All right. So, special portion of the episode. Lucia is a captain
Oh,
of,
yeah.
of the Case Western Reserve Fighting Gobies. Joe is a coach.
Correct.
They're in the middle of their season, middle-ish, early middle. And you have a tournament this weekend. Where is that at?
Commonwealth Cup in Virginia.
If you look up Commonwealth Field Cup address on Google Maps, it appears. I looked it up today.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
They do host a lot of tournaments at that field complex, they being Without Limits. So we go there like 3 times a year.
It's too much. And you always have to go through windy, like West Virginia. And then when it's foggy, you can't see anything. You're going through the mountains and then like the weird bird shop lady house and like, yo, lovers leave. Woohoo.
So from what I'm hearing, it's the end of Home Alone 2, except in the middle of Virginia instead of Central Park.
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, thanks for being on. So how's the season been going so far? This is your second tournament
of the spring. Yep.
Yeah, lots of babies, more babies. Our last tournament was Queen City, so that was like a little bit more competitive. So we didn't get to play our babies as much, but now we're like, just let the babies swim around in the water. And Joe's just gonna throw them all in the field and tell them like, all right, go do something.
Just to be clear, I'm not killing babies.
If you don't want deep though.
Yeah, we had a good time, I think, at Queen City. Saturday was a little bit more rough than Sunday. I think, there were a lot of good teams and like every game was like very competitive or, against like top nationals level teams. And so that, it kind of sucks that had to fall early in the season. So we didn't really have a chance to like build into that. So that was like a challenge for sure. But I think, we had a lot of good games and
especially Sunday.
Sunday had 3 really like good competitive close games. And I think had a lot of growth and improvement. And, like Lucia said, going into Commonwealth are looking to have a lot more opportunities to like develop our depth and, see where that can take us.
That's awesome. What's the competition like at this one?
Okay, so there's like 2 tiers or whatever. We're like tier 2 because we want more babies. I mean, well, no, but we want more. No baby bobies.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 other teams in our pool, I believe. So I think it's
the format's pretty wonky. Actually. Yeah. It's like pretty hard to make sense of.
Yeah, even the tournament directors got it wrong. I thought we had a 7 a.m. game on Sunday, and we were going to be the only people at the field at 7 a.m. on Sunday. So that was terrifying. But I think in our pool, it's UNCB and I think Virginia Tech. And I don't know anything about those teams, but right before this podcast, I looked up Virginia Tech, and they're called. So I think the men's team is called the Burns, which I think just sounds like the burnt things.
It's just burnt.
Oh, okay, that sounds better.
Burnt.
I wouldn't want to be called the Burns, like the little burnt rices at the bottom of the pot that your mom tells you to eat.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, well,
the Burns.
That's actually why Joe's mom stopped here.
Tell Joe to
a pot of burnt rice.
But the women's team is called the Burnettes, I believe, and like
that's a solid name. That's a great play off the names. I mean, I'm a fan.
And like their Twitter description is, it's like, I don't know, something like, we're something like fiery and we don't need any water. Like, we're gobies, so like gobies love water, so we're just gonna run on the field and like pee all over them. Ha ha ha. Because okay, I'm just kidding. It's like gonna rain maybe, so like we'll just like jump in the puddles on them, it's casual. It won't be anything compared to last year at regionals though, or sectionals, whatever. Sectionals.
Yeah,
that was literally played in like calf deep water. Maybe it was ankle deep for everyone else, but it was calf deep for me. So yeah, but that's what Saturday's looking. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very wide range of levels.
Yeah.
Like tier 1 has like Dartmouth and UNC and like teams that are semis, finals, contenders.
Is it the Triangle Tourists?
I'm not sure if they come to this one, because I don't really know how it works for spring sanction tournaments.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they're there.
High schoolers don't get to dunk on some college kids again.
Yeah.
Real bummer.
Yeah, for real. But like, yeah, tier 1 has some very, very good teams, and then tier 2 is a pretty wide range from.
It's enormous.
Yeah, like teams at our level versus like B teams and like small developmental teams. So. Very wide range, which I think is also, it's good to like get a tournament like that under your belt too, because that's kind of like at sectionals and regionals, that's kind of how things go as well. There's usually a pretty wide range, especially in the women's division, I think. Also
kind of nice to play a wider variety of teams. Go all the way to Virginia just to play like Penn State or something, or like OSU over and over again.
It does feel like we play those teams a lot.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah.
So get a little variety this time around.
Yeah, hopefully.
Variety, the spice of life. Is that the phrase? What's after this tournament? What's next for you guys?
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Which is our quote-unquote home tournament hosted in Columbus.
We live there.
Yeah.
That's where Haley's dog is. That's where.
Yeah, that is the most exciting part.
Oh, he's such a chunky boy.
And he has a great dog named Rusty, and also two great cats named Oreo and Gracie.
Doesn't she have 3? Gracie, or yeah, that's it. You're right.
Yeah, Gracie's pretty scared, so when we come over, I usually see Gracie, but Oreo is a little more friendly.
Yeah. Joe gets a little face and like his eyes get wide, and he like has that smile, and his like hands like tuck into his body. He like walks over to places.
After Cruel, how many more tournaments until
That's it. That's Cruel and then sectionals and regionals. So
yeah.
That is it. Which are also both in Columbus for the women. So we get to go to Columbus 3 times this year.
And look at a chunky boy.
Where's it at in Columbus? Which field?
That I don't know.
Okay,
I couldn't tell you.
It says mystery.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are the best fields.
Yeah.
Well, they're not as good as the Magic fields.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any way you could get everything rescheduled to play in the
Can we request our game to be rescheduled to the 11 time slot for the rest of Winter League? That's clearly the only field that we can win on. Yeah. I mean, it should be fun. I think, like Lucia said, we have a lot of rookies, which is very exciting. It has been sort of like a new challenge for me, especially. It took me a while, I think, in the fall to sort of figure out the best way to change practice structure to, actually help people, a large number of people who are completely new to the sport. Mm-hmm. It still happens all the time that me or other vets on the team just like start using random Frisbee terms that we don't really think about.
Yeah.
And a rookie's like, wait, what's that? what's because we haven't like explicitly talked about so many things. So, it's challenging, but very, very exciting to see so many dedicated rookies who are part of the team and working hard.
Yeah,
and
improving. It's awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of them in Winter League too.
Yeah, which is super, super awesome. Like seeing them be dedicated and like want to play outside of just being on the team. That's pretty lit. Yeah, I think that if I was a small baby at that time, I'd be too spooked, and then I would stay at home all alone on Fridays and cry and think about how Joe is mean to me as a coach and stuff, usual.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Joe's a great coach.
So the big takeaways on the Case women's spring season is
Joe's a mean baby murderer.
Joe is mean, throws babies, and the Case women are going to pee on it. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it. I think you nailed it.
All right. Anything else Anything else you want to add?
No. Power team.
Power team? Well, that's going to wrap up our college talk. I would have ended the show, but I just remembered we did get our very first email.
Yes, we did.
Oh my
We should talk about that.
goodness.
And it was on the nicknames from last week. Should we reveal who sent this, or do we want to keep it anonymous? They chipped in with their top 5 nicknames.
Oh Lord.
Let's keep it anonymous. I don't know if this person. We should. I don't know. We should have clarified beforehand. We should have been more prepared.
So I think we start from number 5 and work our way up.
Yeah,
For sure.
So number 5, David Casente, who he refers to as cassette tape.
Which is a great nickname.
It's a great nickname.
It is great.
It's something that I texted this person, and no one has ever called him that, as far as I'm aware. But 5th best nickname included.
The best part of that is for sure Casente has no idea what a cassette tape is. He's too
gosh.
young. He's too young.
He's 12.
Oh my god.
Number 4 is Eric Parabola.
So good.
This comes with a disclaimer. I don't know if I've ever said this out loud, but I say it in my head a lot. So just admitting that it's nothing that anyone has ever spoken before, but Eric Parabola.
When I think about that, I think about like Easy lying on the ground, but his like legs are up in the air and they're just shooting off into infinity. It's just an enormous parabola for legs.
I think it's a fitting nickname. Let's get that one to stick. Do you want to read number 3?
Yeah, number 3, Tokar Peter Tokar.
I don't understand that one.
I've heard people say it, but I don't know what the origin story. I think that might be a chimney from
A chimney.
2 years ago nickname when Lynch was a captain.
Number two, we have Amiri Stoudemire for Amir instead of Amare Stoudemire. And again, this is with the disclaimer, what I like to call Amir.
Oh, God.
So, not widespread at all. And then number 1 is, of course, Luby.
Of course.
Luby.
Yes.
He also wanted to let us know that 2 of his friends who started playing League this year didn't recognize the name Brian McCarthy, but knew the name Donnie.
Oh, man.
They are on his rec team.
Oh, I played on that team for a hot second.
Yeah. So still confirmed, that's the 1 through 5, but real number 1 is Donnie Light.
Yeah, and I mean,
It's
most
true.
of those are made up.
All nicknames are made up, Brad.
Yeah,
And
true. It's a great point, Joe.
as a side point, I didn't know Luby was spelled that way. I imagine it's spelled like lube, but now it looks like a looby booby.
Well,
So
Luby with 2 O's is actually a real word.
It's a real word. Yeah. Shout out to Linnea for knowing this.
oh
We
baby.
were talking about it.
What-
But the definition, the English definition of Luby is
Oh my God.
an awkward person, especially one who is lazy or stupid.
A lubber.
Yes, a lubber. So that is the definition of Luby. So I don't know. It makes that nickname better, but also makes me feel worse about using it.
What's that?
What makes me feel the worst about using it is very drunk Jackie and Cole yelling it at Libby as she unhappily walks out of the building after losing a tough game.
To a winless team.
Yeah.
nonetheless.
Well, yeah.
You should have lost the game then, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
Ooh, okay. All
Take
right.
one for the team.
Okay.
Come on.
All right. Let's wrap it up
Yeah.
before we go far. Far down this rabbit hole.
We've gone pretty long. Key takeaway from that email is if you want to email us. We'll.
The Lookoff podcast at gmail.com.
If you want to tweet at us.
The_Lookoff.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's how to reach us. Find us
Go to
wherever
his house.
podcasts are found.
Podland.
Find us on the Bill Simmons Podcast Network. I don't know if he has a podcast network, but
I think he does.
okay.
We're not there. Don't go there looking for it. Joe, any final thoughts?
Nope.
Lucia?
That's it.
Power team.
Power team.
Power team.
Looking you off till next week. Power team.
LeBron, any last?
Power team.
I don't know what he sounds like. I've never heard him talk. We should make like a power team duet right here.
Power team.
Power team. Power team.
Power team.
Power team. Power team.
Power team.
Power team.
Power team.
Power team.
Power
Power
team.
team.
Power team.
Power team. Power team.
Power team.
Team. Can this be the new intro for the podcast?
Power team.
Power team.
I hope so.
Or you should just put it underneath all the audio, just record, on loop, nonstop, just team.